Hello and welcome everyone to the cafe. My name is Leaf if you do not know me. I'm joined today by one Stray Rogue.
Hello.
And one Pixel Moon.
Hello.
How are you guys doing today?
Doing good. I had my own stream today.
Oh, how'd it go?
All right. I had a couple of viewers. I streamed some Apex Legends.
Very
May have
cool.
heard of it. Free to
Did you
play.
try out the new character?
I have. They're very fun. Their special ability is they can manipulate what is it? That like iron ink stuff. I don't know what that's called.
the ferrofluid type.
Yeah.
stuff.
But it's like magnetic.
Yeah.
And she can do some fun stuff, like if she throws out a door, she can reinforce it.
Ooh.
Or if a piece of a door is missing, she can replace it with it.
So basically, really useful blockading tech.
Well, yeah, but not only that, when she uses it, her standard ability, it's kind of a permanent little strip of it stays and does like 15 damage a tick.
Wow, that's neat.
And slows opponents.
It's pretty pog.
Yeah, her ultimate is she throws up a giant wall of it that goes down like 50 feet and like 25 feet high so no one can see over it or through it. And anyone who passes through it gets damaged and is very slowed.
Huh. Pretty pog.
Yeah, she's fun. I didn't play her during stream, but it didn't stop me from getting 2 wins.
That's good.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Sorry for the yawns. For Leaf's benefit, I will add that this character that we're talking about is the recently debuted trans woman character.
Oh, cool.
Oh, they're trans?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
And if you watch the her video debut, they briefly talk about her transition inside of that. But yeah, she's trans. So we got a trans woman and a non-binary in this. Brain can never remember Bloodhound in Bloodhound.
Yeah.
Bloodhound's the one with the fun mask.
Yeah, they're fun.
Recently, apparently, the plot let Fuse and Bloodhound make out. That was neat.
Oh yeah, they got a thing going.
Yeah, this guy was telling me about it. It's very excited.
Fuse is like, I'm fairly attractive, and Bloodhound's like, well, of course you are. Why wouldn't you be?
That's fun. Yeah, they've got a lot of interesting characters and literally, are constantly posting plot stuff for the game, so it's refreshing post Overwatch.
And lore.
Yeah, like that's you get lore, which is like what?
Yeah, like
not lore, like a lore crumb every 2 years. Fucked up.
Yeah, it's better than Overwatch.
That's what I mean.
But what was it? I was playing Revenant today, and I had a Loba on my team, and Revenant and Loba in the lore have beef with each other.
Yeah.
And so every time like Loba drops something or I use their special to like shop for items, I there's an option you can push a button to say thank you as a character. But every time I did it with Revenant, he was just so snarky, like, "Oh, you shouldn't have."
Well, like, so Scott basically has me watch all of the plot things, right? So Loba, her dad was assassinated by Revenant when she was a little girl, in front of her, and
well, of course, because he's an assassin.
Yes, and their whole thing is that they are quote unquote, let's say, teamed up in the Apex games on the side of that, because on the side because Loba wants to kill him, but you can't kill him, and Revenant wants to die, but he has no control over the fact that he's living in the first place.
Because he's a robot.
So, well, he's not a robot. He's a human brain somewhere who's being casted to a bunch of different robots. So he was originally some kind of assassin that his remains must have gotten bought by somebody.
So he's like being held hostage then.
Yeah, so basically he wants to die, and he's like, yeah, I'll help you kill me. Let's fucking go.
He has a Deadpool complex.
It's not even a Deadpool complex, because he's not a nice weirdo. He's like if... I want to say if Skeletor was an assassin, but that's not right either. He's too dry.
Well, the reason why I said Deadpool was because like the original like comic thing is like he falls in love with Lady Death and he wants to die to be with Lady Death, but Thanos cursed him with immortality.
I mean, his mutation also cursed him with immortality.
Well, yeah, but it's like there's still a chance that he could die, but Thanos basically made it so he could never die no matter what.
Fucking Thanos.
Aw, snap.
For real, though? Anyway, Leaf, how are you?
Yeah.
Tired.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A worm?
I was up late doing stuff, and this is where Cora would come in and say, hi, I'm stuff. We were having ourselves a lot of fun last night, and I stayed up till 3 a.m.
I see.
So, even though I slept until about 2, I woke up like 3 times, so it feels like yesterday was 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, have I streamed this week? Oh yeah, I streamed literally yesterday.
Yeah.
Granted, it was on Voss's channel, but...
Yeah, you did your D&Ds.
Yep. But it feels like I haven't streamed it all this week because yesterday just feels like it was so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I am extra sleepy, extra tired, trying to wake myself up with chocolate and soda.
So my day was I'm achy as fuck from flu shot because like my body's getting its ass kicked, right? But then Holly showed me that she's finally figured out how Velcro works, so she unjortled herself.
Amazing.
So now she has to be a naked cat because nothing can hold her. But her wound is pretty much healed, so it's fine.
Well, that's good.
Scott was just nervous that it would get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now she also I think she outgrew the outfit in the time that she was wearing them. So I think that's one of the other reasons why it was hard to keep her in it this last like couple days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Too small. She's a nerd. She's been literally insane since yesterday.
Insane on the membrane.
Imagine you're a kitten and you can't go and run and jump and do shit, right?
I'd be so pissed.
For 2 weeks, and then you get out of that period of time and you're like, oh fuck, I can run and jump and shit, and I'm not being drugged to be tired.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm pretty sure the amoxicillin was like, making her tired. So
yeah.
But yeah, now she's just fucking insane and she's scaring all the adults, which is really fucking funny.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like, what insane stuff is she doing?
Well, we have a tile floor in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
And Holly runs full tilt anytime she's moving right now.
Mm-hmm.
So she just goes kind of apeshit. And the other cats who, are now adults, they don't do stuff like that. So they're like, oh my god, what is she doing? Holy shit. And then she'll like go careening at like Artemis or Pippin.
Wow.
Like, she wants to be chased a lot too, which is really funny because she like jumps in the air because she's so excited she's being chased. And by being chased, I'm walking normally after her, but she's going full blast. She's just so excited.
So she's being a kitten.
Yes.
I see.
Can't believe how big she is, just because she's still only just 5 months old. Like, ugh.
That means they're only going to get bigger.
No, not necessarily. I mean, Mary stopped at a certain point, but everybody else didn't. Oh my god, she's just so funny though. Well, the fucking small animals are adorable.
Your face is just being extra angry today.
It's probably because I keep going and like sniffling, and so that makes my face do this.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I see.
Yeah, it doesn't know what to do with the face of sadness, so it's just like angry.
Ooh, why is your stola trembling?
You stole because you stole.
Because you're stola.
Most likely.
You stole my heart.
Because nothing new has been released, so
Mm-hmm.
literally it's just because they're a bunch of simps for Y'shtola.
Okay.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Zach's a major shrimp. Yeah, and incidentally, I'm making an angry face because I keep saying, "Fuck you." He thinks it's funny that I make an angry face. Ugh. I had a fucking weird dream, so I've been sleeping a lot of the day because I was so fucking achy earlier. And I had a weird dream that in addition to the cats I have presently, I had a serval.
Oh god.
A what?
And I think it's okay, it might not have been a serval. It's one of those tall cats, right? Like,
are you talking about Bengals?
No, but the wild version, right?
Oh, the wild version, okay.
Yeah. So, like, the actual one that they're basically bred to look like, or bred with. Anyway, so, it was just a big cat. And my grandma was visiting. That was the other weird part. And the serval, like, because, the cats bite me. Because they're doing love bites. The serval bit me. And the serval had, teeth adjacent to a dog's size of a bite. So it was like, ow!
Oh boy.
I don't know if I was having pain, like body pains that just like had manifested around my arm, so my brain like put that in, or what. But it was like, get that shit out, and I like pulled the dumb cat off and stuff like that. Oh, Scott, I was talking about the soda that I asked you to bring down.
Excuse me.
Thank you. I got boba tea. Sans boba.
I want boba tea with boba.
No, I don't want boba.
Boba tea.
Scott got me a jumbo black tea from the Vietnamese place.
I don't understand how they can call it boba tea when it doesn't have boba in it.
I don't think they call it boba tea at this point, but I just called it boba tea sans boba.
It would just be milk tea.
Yeah, it's delicious.
But yeah, I would think it would just be called milk tea or something.
Yeah, that's what it's actually called. My brain's just stupid.
Okay. I wasn't sure if that was you or if it was actually the labeling, because companies tend to label things wrong.
I mean, like, so this cup doesn't normally have words on it, but it has words on it that say bubble tea on it, actually. That's new. But normally it's just a plain cup. But boba's super popular right now, so I imagine that they normally don't have somebody asking for it without it.
Yeah. I mean, even I like boba, so...
I do like boba, but, like,
I'm particular about the tea.
The tea doesn't really benefit from it, so it's like, I'd rather just have more tea than boba taking up space.
Whereas I don't mind it taking up space, but I generally prefer, like, rose tea. Specifically rose milk tea.
Like?
It's sweet and kind of perfumey. Like floral tasting.
Sweet and perfumey. Well, as long as it's sweet, that sounds like it'd be up my alley.
It's not quite sweet like strawberry is, where it's like really sugar sweet.
Yeah, no, just a
Because for
little.
some reason, places like to make strawberry sugary sweet instead of sweet and tart like strawberries are.
It's because of candies, I think.
Yeah. I never understood that. Why make a candy that just tastes like sugar when you're basing it off a fruit that is normally sweet and tart?
Because candy makers want their candy.
Because profit.
Like that's all I
I
can
think
think
it's more
about.
laziness.
Is that the most common denominator is people like sugar taste, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like where it stops as far as like having a motivator. It's like, okay, if I'm not good at making candy that tastes like things, I will just make candy that is sugary. Like,
Yeah.
have you had those grandma candies?
Which ones? There's a lot of
The
them.
ones that
Are we talking Werther's? Are we talking the strawberry
the grandma candies
candies?
that are strawberries. Yeah, that have like the little bit of thing
Yeah,
inside.
those are the ones
Those
that
are
I
pretty
complain
good.
about.
Yeah, those are pretty good, but they don't taste like
They don't taste like
thing
strawberry.
They need to. Yeah.
They just taste like sugar. I will say Airheads is usually pretty good. Like, they're good at balancing their sweet and tart.
Yeah. I loved Airheads as a kid.
I still love Airheads.
Yeah. I haven't had them in a while, but my aunt would bring them when we went to the zoo as like a special treat.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice. One.
I had Airheads more recently because that was part of the candy pack that my people upstairs bought for Halloween. It's like all
Makes
sour
sense.
candies.
So they probably had like
Or
the
fruit
blue raspberry
candies.
ones.
Yeah. It's all the flavors that, they normally produce. So like there's grape, there's strawberry, there's blue raspberry, there's mystery, there's cherry, there's orange.
Question. Has anybody ever figured out how they produce the mystery flavor?
I mean, I imagine
It's
they
a
just
mystery.
I imagine they just don't put the dye in. So it's probably like one of the other flavors, but without the dye. But, yeah, they have Airheads upstairs, they have Starburst upstairs, and they have the Sour Punch straws. Along with Warheads and Gummy Bears and that kind of stuff, but I don't like Warheads.
Sour Punch straws are good.
Yeah, those ones are good. Warheads, not so much. Gummy Bears I'll accept. But I usually have to be in a specific mood for Gummy Bear. Yeah, those are the Gummy Bears that they are. Is the Haribo Gummy Bears.
That reminds me of that one. Well, it was an Amazon review about the guy who ate a bag of sugar-free gummy bears from Haribo, and they like basically had a laxative effect on him while he was on a date.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. That's weird.
It's a funny read. That's why it comes to mind.
It sounds like that would be like an allergic thing?
I don't know. Guy eats 5 pounds of sugarless gummy bears.
Oh, that would explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like eating the 5-pound whole gummy bear, the single gummy bear that is 5 pounds.
Yeah. We watched Aaron Hansen try to do that a long time ago.
We also watched Michael try and do it a long time ago.
Bless
I
Michael.
thought it was Jeremy. Was it Michael?
No, it was Michael. Michael's the one who will do stupid things like that. Like eat stupid things for challenges, and the later half of the video is all him puking in the toilet after eating just the head.
Have him constantly eat cheese without taking his lactates.
Wasn't he the one who challenged Gavin to drink hot sauce?
No, Gavin challenged him to drink hot sauce.
Yeah, but I thought they both.
No, it wasn't hot sauce. It was barbecue sauce.
I thought they both had to drink the.
No.
Wait, is that the one where Michael looks at him and goes, "You're so fucked."
Yeah.
Like, it was such an easy challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this is after Michael, like several years before, challenged another person at Rooster Teeth, who isn't part of Achievement Hunter, to eat Carolina Reaper peppers.
Ooh. Yeah.
And Michael was just like, yeah, it's not that hot. And then, like, literally 3 minutes later, chugging milk.
Yep, that's spices for you.
Yep.
Gallon milk challenge.
That's just destined to fail.
Yeah.
Like, Carolina Reapers are small. It's not like you're eating a lot of them. It's just that the capsicum levels are intense.
Yeah, whereas the gallon of milk challenge, the problem with that is that your stomach is literally not big enough to hold that, so you end up puking it all out before you can actually finish it.
Yeah. Well, no, haven't tried.
Or end up going to the hospital because your stomach ruptures.
Yeah. Basically,
Yeah.
a lot of
So I
challenges
do not
are
recommend
just
it.
physically impossible. Like, that's why, like, big food challenges don't impress me very much unless they're, like, of a certain size.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in general, they don't impress me just because it's like, physically, you can't complete the big food challenge.
That's why I said of a certain size. Because if it's a, like, say, you have to complete a, say, 2 or 3 pizza challenge. That's technically doable, functionally.
Technically.
But other stuff, it's just like the giant fucking hamburger that went around in the early 10s. It was like, at 1, it's going to taste terrible, and 2, it's impossible physically for you to eat any, like, amount beyond, like, the tiny thing that is your fucking stomach.
Giant 12-egg omelet.
See, at least the egg, like, kind of folds in on itself, so that's doable.
Right,
Yeah,
but the challenge for that one was you had to eat the eggs, the hash browns it came with, which was on a bed of hash browns, and the toast.
Yeah,
that's the problem. It becomes
unreasonable.
just literally a waste.
The
things that are interesting about competitive eating is that a lot of people are not necessarily eating beyond their capacity, but they are finding ways to expand their capacity.
Yeah.
By, like, and it's not like it's a for fun thing.
And the worst thing about the competitive eating stuff is, like, it's not even enjoyable. It's literally just they're doing it for the sake of competition because they don't taste the food that they eat. So it could literally be, like, garbage pizza that they're eating, but yeah, they can eat 37 slices of it.
In the United States, it's more egregious. Because the one gal I've watched a long time ago, this was, like, for, like, 2009, let's say. When YouTube was not very big. She did Japanese competitive eating and basically walk away from the challenges with a literal food baby belly because she looked like she was pregnant, because she had found a way to expand her stomach in such a way where it really could hold a lot of food. But one of the things was she didn't eat, like, fast. It was just a methodical pace, and she was tasting everything as it went down. It wasn't like... One of the things that was really annoying when I first started seeing competitive eating was, like, so there was a hot dog eating challenge. You just see them dunking them in water and throwing them down their throat.
Yep.
Because it's like, that's just not impressive.
Well, in large part, the reason why the fastness is important is because it takes 6 minutes for your stomach to register that you're full.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Which is why it's very easy to, like, overeat by accident. Because your stomach isn't registering that you're actually full until 6 minutes later after it's actually hit its limit. So you literally have 6 minutes to stuff your stomach as much as possible before you start to throw up. But go ahead.
Sorry, Scott just brought Holly. Like, I was gonna say, I wonder if that's why my, because I've mentioned this before, I take 1,000,000 years to eat, and I wonder if that's why, as a small baby child, of starting to feed myself, if that's why I've always been like that, because it doesn't make me feel good to go fast or something because of that reason.
It could be. I mean, I also, like, I tend to eat slow when I'm with other people, but if I'm just by myself watching something, I'll generally eat something within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is aggravating because most of the shows I watch are an hour long. So I'm just like, fuck, what do I do with my next 45 minutes besides watch the show? Or do I stop watching the show because I've already finished my food?
Yeah, I have the opposite problem. I take 45 minutes to eat, but nobody else around me does.
Yeah.
So I'm left alone at the table.
Yeah?
And I try to pick something to watch, and I'm like, man, I can't fucking find anything to watch, and so it takes me longer. And I'm looking.
Well, like, another example is, like, if I'm wholly focused on eating, because while we were waiting for you, I basically finished my salad, and that definitely took less than 6 minutes to do. And I'm just now starting to feel that I'm full. What?
How big was the salad?
Just like a normal salad that you get from the grocery store, like the bowls. So a reasonable one-person serving for a meal. But yeah, I finished that in, like, less than 6 minutes. Because I was just hyper-focused on eating because, like, we weren't talking or anything, and we were just waiting on you.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah. Competition eating is weird.
The only thing that makes sense about it is, like, in spice situations, because it's then not about the volume, it's about your tolerance.
Yeah.
Reminds me of this this clip I saw. There was this guy who has, like, celebrities on for, like, hot wing challenges.
Yeah.
And he had Gordon Ramsay on.
Yeah, it's called Hot Ones.
Hot Ones, yeah. They had Gordon Ramsay on a show, and Gordon Ramsay like, "The fuck's with this chicken? It's overcooked. It's dry as hell." It's just like he wasn't worried about the spice. He was upset that the chicken was overcooked.
Exactly like Rachel Ray when she was on there. Rachel Ray said, "No, thank you. I'm not eating this chicken," and did everything straight off a spoon because she was appalled at how gross the chicken was. But back then, they just run down to a bar and get chicken wings, you know, because. But now they've got slightly better fare because they've gotten so many people who had a problem with it.
Yeah. Honestly,
yeah, Rachel Ray doing it straight off a spoon was the most badass shit because she did the whole course.
Damn. I see, me personally, if I was to have a show like that, I want to just get my wings from whatever store is nearby. I go get some like fresh wings from the freaking butcher. I bring them home, I prep them, get them ready to cook, eat, and then serve them to the guest.
Sounds like you'd want to give them more of a dining experience in general.
Well, not a dining experience, but it's just like I want to put in the effort if they're gonna come all the way out, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, unfortunately, the show... Yeah, the show is working on a budget, so they don't have the time and the money to hire a professional chef to actually make the food. So just getting them pre-cooked from someplace down the way and then microwaving them when it gets closer to showtime makes more sense. Because I bet you anything, they get those, like, an hour or so early, so by the time the show starts, it's cold. So they just microwave them, throw them in the sauce, and then serve them. And that's probably what's drying out the chicken.
Get from Buffalo Wild Wings or something.
Buffalo Wild Wings has good...
is already fucking dry.
I don't know. The places that I've been to, they've been good. Like when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
There's been that one here that I've told you the horror story from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a few here in the West Coast. I've only ever been to one though.
There's some new type one that's like Wingstop or something out
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had them for a while.
They must be heading east.
Yeah, whereas Buffalo Wild Wings went from east to west. But
yeah,
the
oh god.
The Buffalo Wild Wings that is over where I'm at, like, my problem has never been with their chicken, it's always been with the sauce. Because there's a specific sauce that I like, and I don't know what they do wrong with it, but it doesn't taste the same as, like, the sauce that they bottle up. So, like, the chicken's always been fine. It's never been dry. It's always been moist and everything. It's just the sauce that's wrong. And the seasonings.
Well, is it just, like, not as potent, or?
If I remember correctly, the problem was that it was overly sweet and not tart enough. Because the one that I like to get is, like, I think the honey barbecue.
Right.
Which is sweet and tart and not that spicy.
I don't know.
It's really good.
Yeah. The thing with Wingstop though is their wings are pretty good, but they're so freaking pricey.
Yeah.
See, that's the fucking stupid thing about places like that, because you know that chicken wings aren't expensive.
No, they're not. I think it's for like, what is it? Eight wings, it's like $12-13.
That's fucking highway robbery.
And
yeah.
that's just wings.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
And they don't even serve it as 8, they serve it as 6. It's 6, 12.
6?
Yeah, it's 6, 12, or 18. And for 6, it's something like $10 or so.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What a fucking shit show.
Whereas me, I just turn around and go and get my wings at, I think it was Domino's or Pizza Hut. One of the two was doing Wing Wednesday.
Domino's has good wings.
Then I don't think it was Domino's. I think it was Pizza Hut that was doing the Wing Wednesday.
Yeah, Pizza Hut.
Where it was 50 cents a wing.
That's how the fucking bar that my dad and my uncle took me to when we were visiting him did it. It was like about 50 cents a wing, and the fucking wings were really good. It does not take rocket science to make a decent wing. Why are you upcharging it fucking way too much?
The reason why they're upcharging it is because the difference between the bar you went to and someplace like Buffalo Wild Wings is one of them is a bar and is focusing on making bar stuff, like alcoholic drinks primarily. The other is their niche. They literally make wings and wings only. Everything else is just extra to it. So the fact that you can order alcohol at Buffalo Wild Wings, that's not what they're banking on making money off of. They're banking on making money off of the wings.
Yeah, but as a dirty anti-capitalist.
Well, yeah.
I think that upcharge stuff should have a cap to it.
It should.
Like, if you're going to do stuff like that, because it's the same problem people have with getting glasses frames, right? Glasses frames, production-wise, only maybe cost like 75 cents to produce.
Yep. But because they slap
$dollars for glasses.
But because they slap a name like Michael Kors on it or something, it ends up costing you $475.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, no, there needs to be some. It's basically like rent control, I suppose, where it's like
or wage control,
upcharge control. It's fucked. It's just fucked.
It's another thing that won't exist, just like wage control.
Two things that they need on the West Coast.
In the United States in general.
Yeah.
Because you know what? West Coast, we're lucky because, here in Seattle, we get a minimum of $15 an hour. But over in places like Illinois, where Moon is from, the minimum wage is still like $7.25.
Yeah, but the price for everything though is different though.
Not as different as it used to be.
Oh really? It's gone up?
Yeah,
It's gone up.
When Leaf has visited, it has gone up considerably. It's still cheaper than being inside of Seattle, but outside of Seattle, it's not even. No.
Okay, because last time last I've been to Illinois was pre-COVID, so.
Yeah. So post-COVID, with all of this inflation that is nonsensical, it's just not tenable for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, like, it shocked me the other day when Moon was telling me, like, they were looking for houses and everything, and before COVID and, like, a couple years back, like 5 years ago, houses were, $75K that Moon was looking at. Those same houses now are what?
No. Originally, when we were looking for a home, there was one that was 175.
Uh-huh.
You told me
They went up-
75K.
No, that was an what do you call it? Duplex thing. That's why that was a lot cheaper. The like standalone homes were 175. They went up to 300,000 in our area for itty bitty houses that are broken down as fuck.
Yeah.
Have no business being that much money, but because of the Zillow inflation scheme to up their bottom line,
Yeah.
everyone's been fucked over.
Zillow inflation scheme.
I don't think he knows about that.
No.
So Zillow, they've just stopped it recently. Because the United States government was like, hey, we're gonna start investigating you, by the way.
Right.
So they would buy a house for an exorbitant fee in a neighborhood. Apropos of nothing, they would just make up the price. Because they wanted to then use the way you price houses, which is you compare to what things have sold in an area.
I think you cut out.
Base the prices off of that.
No.
Okay.
I hear.
Okay. So buying for an exorbitant price drove up everybody else's house, so they buy up a swath of houses for a bunch of money, and then be able to price them way higher than they were. And that just has ruined the housing economy right now, like in terms of buyers. Sellers have all of the leverage because you can't fight the prices that Zillow put out.
Right.
And if you underprice it, then people won't take interest because they're going to go, what's wrong with the house? Even if you price it for the price that it should actually be at. Like, houses where I live, 25 years ago or so, the people upstairs bought this house for 100K, like 109K. Yeah. Now, it's 550K.
Yeah.
Like, the average house in the area that I'm at is 500K.
And
possibly more, because that's already 2 years old information.
And I've seen the houses in your area, and they're not the best. They're like decent at most.
Exactly. They're not some schwanky house or something that deserves to be $500,000.
It's what my parents' generation would call a starter house. That's what they would call your type of house.
I mean, I guess the houses in our area are like that, but to me, they're just rundown houses that have been around for like 50 years.
Yeah.
And haven't seen a remodel since.
Because of their square footage, they call that a starter house.
Well, okay, we don't have as much space as you guys do.
No, it's not about... Okay, so my parents, from apartments to a house that was that size, that was their starter home. And, like, the idea, it's like, oh, you go from having, like, no square footage, because it's an apartment, having a little bit of square footage, it's a house, and, like, you, quote-unquote, save your money and get a bigger house. Yeah, no, that's not how the
that doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly.
Generally now when you buy that quote-unquote starter house, you get stuck in that starter house for the next 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's provided that you can make it out of the apartment area, because just getting an apartment is expensive now. Like, when I first started looking at apartments 10 years ago or so, like, your average studio was $400. Now your average studio is $1,200. And that's just in 10 years' time, it's tripled.
Yeah, it's appalling. And, like, you keep seeing, like, a bunch of fiscal reports that say, we're, like, on the cusp of a
rent crash.
Like a rent crash, a housing market crash, all this stuff. But because of Zillow, they artificially kept it away by doing all of that stuff, and have just... Shit's fucked.
Yeah.
Oh. Here's a meme from 2017, according to this Facebook post, about Seattle home prices.
Oh god.
Where are you posting it?
I'm posting our Discord.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Shit like that.
I'll share it with the chat.
Seattle be like, rundown shack for sale, $849,000.
Yep.
Look at the property. You're right by the trees, and you probably have a great view. It's a
and you're probably
shack.
800 miles from civilization.
Mm-hmm.
See, what's probably selling on that shack is actually the fact that it's on, like, 10 acres of land.
Probably.
And that's what they're selling
10 acres
it for.
of land for $849,000 is still not kosher.
Well, it has a building on it, so it has to go higher.
I'm going to eat the housing market. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, generally. Shit's fucked.
Yep.
How about that video game?
Yeah. Speaking of worlds being in chaos and wanting to restart everything, let's start AI the Sonic file.
Okay.
Oh, is that how you feel about it? Tell us your real feels, Rook.
We don't have enough time for that. We got a game to play. I will say though, world is fucked.
Understandable.
Okay. Let me get the game started up. I no longer have it on my quick bar.
My fucking banh mi sandwich is so fucking tasty, dudes. Delicious.